Sandy Bowman, and I've been into racing cars for a very long time. Some time ago, we had a very large crash. We were hurt, but not like the car, it was gone. So the first time in my life, I didn't have anything to race. To ensure that doesn't happen again, I'd like to welcome you to Aussie Racer. So what we're going to do every episode is we're going to borrow or build something that we can race in, on, or whatever. G'day everyone. We at Aussie Racer are so stoked that you've been following us on what's become an amazing journey. It's only halfway through the first season, and already I feel like I've travelled 1 million miles to get to this point. Even though the last 3 episodes we've competed in are totally different disciplines, off-road racing, rock crawling and mountain biking, they all have one common factor: dirt. So for the rest of the season, we're going to change things up a bit, and some of it may come as a bit of a surprise to you. First of all, I'd like to introduce you to a little gem that's close to our hearts. It's a 1973 Ford Escort Mark I Coupe. The way this car ended up in our garage is pretty cool. Brady, our trusty mechanic, used to keep this at his farm. It was the official paddock bomb and was destined to end its days rusting away to nothing. Luckily, we had the insight to bring this little ripper back to life, and before we knew it, Brady had loaded it onto the trailer and was heading back to the Aussie Racer workshop. Like most of our other vehicles, the Hardman, myself and the Aussie Racer crew stripped down the Mark I and did a rebuild from the ground up. Firstly, we stripped it down, gave it a jet wash, got rid of all the spiders, and then we got inside and cut out any piece of metal that wasn't needed in the car. Then we set it up to run fiberglass guards and bonnet and started work on the undercarriage. The Hardman built most of the roll cage, Brady focused on the engine, and I got stuck into the coach work. With that monumental amount of work, it came as a big surprise to our fans that from the first bolt being undone to the first day of racing was only 10 days of the build. It was an amazing effort. This little Ford's become a solid member of the Aussie Racer family, and soon you're going to get to ride with the Hardman and myself in the Australian Tarmac Rally Championship.
Hey Jerk, we're taking a step back in time. Get in.
What are you on about?
Mate, we're going back in time.
Okay everyone, the Hardman's right. We've taken this $500 junker, this Nissan Patrol short wheelbase, we've turned it into a finely tuned and awesome racing machine. We're going to go and take a step back in time and visit the very first discipline I ever experienced in off-road, Winch Challenge. This brutal and highly destructive discipline is going to be awesome. These events have 2 classes, so the big dollar vehicles don't have an unfair advantage over the less modified cars. Because our winch has twin motors, we're in the big dollar class. They have a maximum of 37-inch tyres and all the required safety equipment. The rest is unlimited. Our shorty's got big boots to fill. This shorty was acquired through a swap deal with my old apprentice. We swapped it for a light bar, so I'm not too sure who ended up with a better deal, but in the end everyone was happy. Back in the workshop, we ripped out anything that was unnecessary and turned it into the beautiful, incredible piece of machinery that it is now. This car is a budget build, from donated parts from friends, B2 sus, even my old Winch Challenge car. The only big dollar item on this car is the winch. Originally costing around $15,000 to set up. It's a worn high mount, twin motors, free spool, so we can get the cable out really quickly. The motor's completely stock. It's got electronic ignition, it's got extractors, and a whole heap of waterproofing to make sure it runs in deep water. Underneath, we installed some diff locks and some worn-out borrowed tyres, as Mickey Thompson weren't part of the Aussie Racer family yet. They aren't really up to scratch, so it's a case of keep your foot planted and hope for the best. The seats are from my original Winch Challenge car, and we've put 2 batteries between them to help the extra 2 up the front power up that winch. The Hardman and I fabbed up a 6-point roll cage and a standard Oz 4-wheel-drive winch bar up front. Then it was a coat of our signature candy apple tangerine, and this bad boy was good to go. The format of the Winch Challenge is to get a team of 2 vehicles through all the checkpoints any way possible. And our team consists of RC legend Benno Collings, navvying for Jim Jimson in their GQ long wheelbase chop patrol. We've got an awesome team. What possibly could go wrong? So here we are out at Heathcote Park Raceway at Reedy's 4x4 Mania. We've brought our old Patrol shorty out of the shed, prepped it the last couple of nights, and the only thing we forgot to do was get the 4-wheel drive working.
That's quite an irony, because this is the first time we filmed anything as Aussie Racer. It was the birth of the show. Now, we had no idea what we were getting into. Our production crew was literally a couple of GoPros and myself running around with a camera. Little did we know how hard this challenge was going to be. The event kicked off with a short night run to shake down the teams and throw around a bit of mud for the spectators. It was pitch black and I couldn't see a thing, so I just stood at the first corner and waited for the guys to come splashing through. Alright, so that was good. They made it through that first corner. I ran back up to the start to see if I could get another shot of them coming through. I stood up there and that didn't happen. Jimbo was already towing the guys and they were absolutely covered in mud. This looked hilarious.
Hilarious it was. The clutch was jammed on, so I'd lost all drive to the wheels. We got it back to Reedy's workshop where we could start fixing the problem. Unfortunately, this meant cleaning everything first. The pressure washer is steaming hot and there is so much mud falling off. Imagine what it's going to be like on Sunday night. Not many hours till the morning. Now let's get this thing fixed. We've got to pull the radiator out and hose the mud out from Jimbo's spray. Happens. And we're just getting a couple of bolts up here before we send it up in the air and rip the gearbox out. To fix the clutch, we had to remove the fuel tank, cross member, gearbox, and a bunch of other bits. Everyone pitched in big time that night, and eventually we got there. It was such a massive effort. So we finished at 4 o'clock this morning. We all climbed into bed. Well, I think we're ready to go for a good day's racing. We hope. There are a bunch of stages in this event, and first was a nice cruise around the track that we raced the night before. And now that we have a clutch, we shouldn't need Jimbo to tow us around. We're still half asleep, so it's good that the first stage isn't anything too challenging. From the start, it was pretty clear traction wasn't our strong point. These old donuts are nothing like the Mickey Thompsons we're running nowadays. At least the track is tight, so we keep it on the bopper and use the banked corners to help get us through this stuff. We are finally starting to wake up and get into the groove. As we majestically drive off into the distance, some of the other teams are already making short work of stage 2.
There's a nasty gully that's causing a few problems, but some of the big horsepower trucks are making it look pretty easy. By now, the Hardman and I are wide awake and starting to get some personality back. Finally. So much so, the Hardman's even helping me change gears. What a champ. We're really starting to enjoy ourselves.
Straight down and then right.
Now it's our turn for the gully. That's a steep drop in. That buzzing noise you're hearing is the air compressor for the diff locks. I'm using everything we have to try and get some traction, even laughter. All joking aside, we're stuck in this gully. These old tyres have no traction whatsoever.
Hey! What's that? What the hell, bugger?
I can't even get past this tree root. We have to step it up here. Yippee! Past the tree root. Now up the... Oh, wait a minute. While the Hardman runs the winch rope out, I noticed that our other teammates are missing.
Hey, are these... What? Where are these other turkeys? Yeah, right. Come on.
The Hardman finally starts doing some work and heads for a tree to winch off.
We're a little stuck here. I can't hear my navvy, so I'm expecting the phone to ring any minute.
Danny's doing his best video game impersonation running back to the car to tell me to start winching. And Jimbo and Benno appear on this side of the gully with a flat tyre. This winching is making me feel a bit melancholy.
It takes me back to my youth. Hey, good old winch challenge.
As I'm being dragged up the ledge, we worked out our teammates came across the gully to find a tree they could lift the front of their bus up with a winch. This is so they can change a tyre, as the Hardman explains in brilliant narrative form.
I actually don't know why they're here.
Why the hero is happening?
And they've got a flat. Bloody rookies.
Anyway, the spare tyre is on and those peanuts go back around into the gully and get stuck so we can yoink them through and get on with the competition. Coming up, the mud gets worse and so does our driving. See you in a minute.
Now I would like to introduce a young man called Chip.
It's getting late in the Arvo and everyone's grouping up for one more stage to see the day out. The main feature is this gully with another steep drop in. The drop in isn't too bad with a short run down the creek, but the exit quickly got chopped up and some teams resigned to winching as they couldn't find a good line out. Other drivers showed some ingenuity and found creative lines to drive and just went for it. I think we're going to have to use that option. Jimbo drops in and takes it cautiously. If he picks a good line, he can make it up that bank no problem. We drop in and get ready for our attack. And while that's happening, Jimbo lines up and gives it some gas. No problem. Now it's our turn. Diff locks are in, Let's hope these old tyres have something left in them.
Straight into the finish box, I think.
Coming into the finish line, we get hopelessly stuck.
Left hand down, left hand down. Yep.
Jimbo tries pulling us out backwards with no success. So he gets his ass around to the finish line and winched us up with a dramatic ending to the day.
Straighten up. Stop. Clear.
Sunday morning's a cold one, and everyone is straight back into the mud for our last day of competition.
I have no idea where the guys are, so I hang around at some of the deeper crossings watching everyone get stuck. This gully is deceiving. It's only short, but the ground is so soft. At this point, this is the only guy I saw drive the whole thing. But they're already struggling with getting a purchase to pull their teammates out. I could see this place is going to cause problems for everyone else big time. It's going to be a welcome relief leaving this section. I run back to a previous crossing, and here are the fellas. Now let's see how they get through. Sandy's snorkel hooks up on a tree branch, and they're stuck. Something special needs to happen, fellas. Come on. Ha! It's Jimbo to the rescue. This is brilliant. Next time I find the guys, they're at the main crossing. Teams are stacking up, and it's all starting to get a little serious for Sandy and the Hardman.
Pretty intense, hey? Yeah, it gets a bit hectic like this. We're just about to hook onto the back of Jimbo. These guys are in second place, so we need to get around them to make a bit better of a podium finish.
You can see how soft the base is by the guys on the left. They're buried up past their tray.
My front wheels are getting up, but no tension on the winch cable. I'm sliding back in. Oh, this isn't good. I'm digging in and it's wedged the front of my car in against this bank. We've got to stop, Jimbo. The guys next to us are trying to snatch, but they're also stuffed. This is starting to get really messy. The mud has sucked me down so bad, we're going to have to pull me out backwards and try again. The Hardman gracefully gets ready to hook Jimbo up from behind. He's lined up and we winch out for another attack through this cesspool. I reckon I'm going to aim for the left a bit more.
Mate, do what you do best. Take it. Up on this tree.
And we're ready. Let's go. No good. Let's back up and give it another try. The base is so soft, it can't get any traction. This is starting to look like a car park. Another team now getting bogged. Jimbo better hurry up and come and pull me up the bank. I'm winching out and the team ahead of us are finally free. The adrenaline has just stepped up. We're going to catch them now. I'm reaching the top of the bank and more vehicles are arriving. When Jimbo comes back for his turn, he's blocked in.
No, how deep is it there? Yeah, no, it's a very good drop into the creek.
We're left with no choice but to wait and snatch Jimbo through when the gap opens. Now there's space. He sneaks past the stuck guys and sets up to drag up the wall. This is precision winch challenge, folks. Like a thread going through the eye of a needle. Let's get on with it and leave this mess.
the guys elsewhere on the track, and they're absolutely going for it. Jimbo just whips Sandy through that bog hole. Finally, a chance to get some words from the Aussie Racer.
Hey, mate. Well, it's getting ugly. We've heard something underneath the car. I think we're missing a few pinion teeth or crown wheel teeth or something.
And I'm wet.
And he's wet. It's not going so well. Our winch is packed up. We're relying on one winch for the two cars. Clear up! See you, mate.
Go, go, go!
This section of the course is tight, so I can stay on the guys for a bit, which is awesome. These boys, they're driving really hard. I get to the next bog hole. Sandy and Hardman are out of the car and frantically looking under the bonnet. What is going on?
Something was on fire.
We haven't got...
Well, there seems to be no fire or problems there, so they jump back in the bus. This time, they see the fire. It's in the cab.
Hang on. What's the problem?
The batteries behind the seats had moved and they shorted out, causing the fire. Sandy quickly fixed it and he averts disaster. That could have been really bad.
Not so tasty, mate. We're nearing the end. We've just got one hard bit to get through where we were before. 2 laps of the one course.
I make it to the second last crossing to see the fellas attacking it and leaving absolutely no chance to get stuck. They can smell the finish line.
Can't swim very far. 'Cause I can this place
When Petri catches up again, Jimbo's already made it through and I'm dropping in. This is our last obstacle, and as usual, our crappy old tyres give us nothing. If only we had our Mickey T's.
a place where I feel safe.
We go for the last snatch, and Jimbo gives it everything he has. This crossing is so ripped up now. We're out. Our strap was dragging out the back of the bus, so the Hardman puts it away, and we crab walk our way off to the last stretch to end this event.
So we've done really well. A few tense moments out there.
Busted
a lot
CV.
of busted wind. We busted our
Winch.
winch. We did a CV on the very first hard little section. Just a wrong hit, you know. And
Good
I
day.
don't know, great day. Turned from average to epic really quickly.
So we came in third for the event. Due to the points tally, when we thought we'd come in second, it dropped us back. But hey, third's still on the podium, and that's Winch Challenge for you. We don't have to say it a whole lot continuously.
So this weekend we're out at Winch competing. I don't know.
This weekend we are. Robert.
Yeah, mate. Every
Roger.
time you go an R, mate.
Okay.
Nut flick.
Good straight away.
That was one right there.
That was a ooh.
But that was my Bowman.
I just get one in the bank, mate.
So that didn't happen. I think that cut that I got before is going to...